Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
I'm Gary.
And today we are going to talk about...
We're going to talk about Trump and JD Vance.
Yeah,
What?
I was going to say, when I did my VP readings, I had JD Vance coming in last place of the four likely candidates. And so when he got nominated, it's like, got to go to my community page and say, whoops, a wing and a miss. But when I looked at the cards were really accurate. It would have taken a miracle for me to understand what they were saying, or maybe a more inquisitive mind. Because start off with the Eight of Swords as the foundation.
Well, that's a great way to start.
Yeah, being held hostage. When Marco Rubio's got the Lover's card and a bunch of other major arcana, it's like, it's going to be Rubio. That's what I got before. And maybe that's who Trump wanted. But it's like it was the Eight of Swords with the Nine of Swords underneath it. Oh, so it's like, God, I'm stuck with this guy. I can't believe I have to do this. Now, it makes sense because JD Vance is just like Trump. In 2016, to make his name, he was the type of person who trashed on, or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know when JD Vance came into government. But when he was out there, he was one of the early Trump critics on the GOP side.
Yep.
That is cynical as Richard Nixon, or he's going to be the American version of the German leader from World War II. And was watching a Pete Buttigieg video today, and he's like, yeah, I've met him before, and I've met guys like him, and yeah, he's just basically an opportunist. Mm-hmm. Which way are the winds blowing, and he goes that way.
I'd say that is an excellent adjective to describe him.
Yeah. And then the other two cards on either side of the clarifiers was the Star card and the Devil card. So it's like, here's your rising star, and we're going to team him up with Trump. Yeah. And you can see Trump doesn't want this guy. Absolutely doesn't want him. Because one, he's just like Trump, which means that this guy is going to be, Trump can't be at the top of a staircase or a balcony when this guy's around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, look over the edge of this balcony.
Look, there's a bug is down there waving at you.
Yeah. Just go down the stairs. You first. I made you this special hamburger. You should and Diet Coke. You should try it.
Yeah, like I was telling you, I saw a video where Trump was giving JD Vance an endorsement speech in Ohio for some rally that JD Vance was at.
Okay, this was before he was announced as the VP?
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is when he was, I don't know if he was running for office or something, but it was the most underwhelming left-handed compliment or speech that he could give. It's just like, well, I guess we're friends now. So, it's basically, now he needs my help, so we're friends type of a thing.
Well, Trump never forgets. He never forgets a slight or an insult. And somebody in my comment section made a comment that I translated as Trump's like a mean teenage girl. And for the Deadpool fans, it goes something like, you've got long sullen silences or mean comments. And those are the only two things he knows how to do. He knows how to say something mean and how to feel like a victim. Mm-hmm. And those are his two emotional states. And unfortunately, I can't really push against that. Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
Still an election, terribly treated, which
So I guess we don't need to throw cards on that one. We've already sorted this one. Right?
We know exactly what it is. And I'm dying to see the chunk missing from Trump's ear. Another TikTok video I was watching, a guy who was an army medic and who did 2 tours and pew-pewed people and was pew-pewed at, since he was a medic, he got to treat people who were pew-pewed with saying, we're talking an AR-15 round, an assault rifle round. It's like, even if that thing grazed the ear, the ear is kind of a floppy, not very strong piece of cartilage, there'd be a big chunk missing. I really think that Trump should look like a Keebler elf right now. And his sons said, oh yeah, it didn't require any stitches. which means there's no injury to the freaking ear. Or it's like, the injury is the size of your fingernail digging in there and making it bleed or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bullet. If a bullet hit that, and I looked up grazing. I specifically looked up bullet grazing ear. Now, they had no pictures of a bullet grazing an ear, but it showed like a bullet grazing somebody's side, and it looked like a massive rug burn. The width of a bullet, but it was deep red. This thing had just taken all the layers of skin off the top, and it was just a mess. There's no mistaking it. It didn't puncture or penetrate the thing, but it was clear the damage. And again, the ear is a flimsy little piece of cartilage, and if a bullet traveling much faster than the speed of sound goes blasting past there, it's going to take chunks with it. I mean, the ear's got a lot of blood vessels in it. Even if you get even if it was like a grazing like that, it would either be bleeding profusely, or you would definitely see like the rub marks, like it was on that one guy's torso, when there's nothing like that. All right, but that's not what we're asking here. We're asking here about Trump and JD Vance.
Yeah, how's their relationship for entertainment purposes only?
All right, let's take a look. Come on down. Foundation of the reading. How my deck's upside down. This is the star card.
Woo!
Remember how I was telling you I had the 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. I had the star card and the devil card. Yeah. JD Vance is the rising star of the Heritage Foundation and the very extremely wealthy donors backing, like Elon Musk, backing the GOP right now. He's their star. Trump is a has-been. They know Trump. It's almost like JD Vance is to get in there to give Trump a blanket pardon on everything and anything and everything. But Trump doesn't want that because it doesn't get him out of state crimes.
Yep.
Or at least not easily. But that's the foundation, is the star card. The next new best thing. Cross with the Empress and the Lovers. Well, three out of 3 for major arcana. JD Vance, and this isn't really answering the question about how these two are getting along here. This is more telling me about JD Vance. JD Vance is going to be the guy who nurtures and brings Project 2025 to life. I was watching Heather Cock-Richardson on TikTok giving us a talk on Project 2025, and basically was relating it to Viktor Orban and Hungary and their illiberal, pro-Christian form of democracy. He literally calls it illiberal democracy or Christian democracy, which it's not. But basically, the gist of it is that white males have more rights than non-white males. So women, gay people, immigrants, under a normal democracy, everybody's treated equal under the law.
In theory.
In theory. In an illiberal democracy, they're not. Some people are better than others. And that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting with Project 2025. Underneath it all is the Lover's card. Yeah, he's the new darling. And they're basically forcing this relationship on Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'm getting the Heritage Foundation vibes.
Yeah.
Mostly on that. I don't know where Musk is on all that, but certainly the Heritage Foundation. I suspect that they were kind of insistent on whose VP choice was going to be. Pete Buttigieg said, hey, look, we're overthinking this. Extremely wealthy people do well under Republican leadership. Period. They get tax breaks. They get, regulations are tossed out, so on and so forth. The extremely wealthy people are backing Trump because they do better under Republican rule. Well, he's already said he's gonna like let the oil folks just drill wherever the hell they want on federal land. I'm paraphrasing, but it was kind of that thing. Just write me a check for X amount of money, and you can drill wherever you want.
Yep. The bribery is the corruption is.
They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
No. That's how close they think they are to getting this thing together here. Hang on for a second. Okay, being
And we're
interrupted.
back.
And we're back. Being interrupted. Michelle's letting me know she's leaving.
Okay.
In the past, we got the Queen of Wands. This is supposed to be asking about Trump and Vance and JD Vance, but I'm really not getting that. There are people that wanted somebody who was going to advance their agenda and take it forward. Trump's not reliable. Basically, he's not reliable. You cannot trust him to get anything done. Because what's Trump going to do if he gets elected? What's going to be the first 250 acts that he does?
He'll just undo. Well, first he'll undo everything Biden's done, and if there's anything Obama still had done, he'll try and undo that.
See, now here's the thing: you're thinking policy. I said the word acts, and you're thinking like actions, and I mean acts, like chopping.
Oh, you mean like throwing people in jail?
Political enemies. That's all he knows how to do. Yeah. He's a mean teenage girl. He's either a victim, he's either long sullen silences or mean comments. He's going to go after meanness.
Yeah. Well, he's already said he's going to be dictator for the first day. The Supreme Court just gave him an additional 3 years and 364 days of it.
You're only a dictator on day one. Yeah. You're not a dictator after that. You're the de facto ruler. Yeah. Dictators don't call themselves dictators, do they? Right?
I don't think so.
Current situation is Page of Pentacles. Yeah, they're looking for a younger person to carry their ideals forward. He's got support from big money.
And the Justice Department, apparently.
Well, it's unjust. He's got the support of big money, and they expect that he's able to carry this burden. And they're looking forward to the election because they know that he can guide this, he can land this craft. Okay, which thank you very much, Spirit, for all the background that we didn't ask for. This is really annoying when they do that.
How about I throw?
Yeah, if you want to throw, go for it. I mean,
right, so for entertainment purposes only. Okay.
Yeah, and again, for folks watching this that don't understand how I read, I ask the question and throw the cards. But if the story's not making sense, I have to abort the question I asked and then try to figure out what question they're answering.
Yes.
I'm sure parents out there understand the struggle. But go on, Gary.
Okay, so what I've got for the foundation of the reading on what's the relationship between JD Vance and Trump, I've got the Page of Swords.
Okay.
So it's kind of Swords is about messaging. The Page is kind of immature. He's out there ready to attack and defend against all enemies, even if he's not completely capable of actually wielding this thing effectively. So we got a Page of Swords crossed with the old Empress. So
that looks familiar.
Yeah, it does. So the Empress is all about sort of an abundance of things. It's nurturing, it's abundance, it's basically a very emotional card. And it's underlying is, there you go, 5 of Cups, sorrow. So what's the relationship? I think, you've got this young buck that's bringing the message forward for the Heritage Foundation. You've got Trump, who's got all the wealth and abundance, and they're not having a great relationship. They're not. Certainly, Trump is not happy with Vance, and I don't know if Vance is happy with Trump. Underlying it, in the past, got the Knight of Swords. About fast messaging, things moving quickly. Certainly, the way Trump debates would certainly be a Knight of Swords. It's kind of, fools rush in where angels fear to tread type of messaging. It's if you ever saw Monty Python Holy Grail. This would be Sir Lancelot going to rescue Terry Jones' character in the castle. When because Terry Jones' character didn't want to get married, he just basically ends up killing almost all the wedding guests on the way to rescuing the fair maiden, which turned out not to be a maiden. So we've had this fast messaging that's somewhat reckless, and that certainly describes how Trump, if you call it debating, but Trump's messaging is very repetitive and it's very reckless. And there's probably folks in the Republican Party who aren't too happy with that. The current situation is the 7 of Cups, illusions and delusions. So they're looking at Trump and they're probably thinking this guy's losing his mind. He's just getting more and more unhinged whenever he talks. And so the relationship between the two, Vance is probably looking at Trump thinking this guy's he doesn't have any kind of grip on reality here. The overarching energy, oh, that looks familiar. The 10 of Wands. It's a big burden, this relationship between the two of them. I think it's something that neither one of them necessarily wants.
Nope.
Dealing with the other is just a big burden, and they got to try and drag this thing for the next 3 or 4 months to election day.
I like your spread better than mine. By the way,
so far
it's actually answering the question.
Yeah, lesson to be learned. Oh, 3 of Swords. God,
Who can you trust?
Yeah, they love each other. Yeah, they're just the 3 of that's heartbreak. They don't like each other. They're I think you described JD Vance with the absolute proper adjective. He's an opportunist. And even Trump realizes that this guy's an opportunist. And that's why he got such a glowing endorsement from Trump, is Trump's like, this guy was just trashing on me, and now he wants to be my best friend. Trump's not stupid. He works with people like this all the time. Just a complete snake in the grass. What's the outcome of this relationship? Oh, look at that. 9 of Cups, hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled. Well, they're going to make it work. He's been given the VP nomination. They're probably having some sort of agreements in the back room about, okay, well, if of course they're going to say when, but if they get elected, this is what I need you to do. And JD Vance is like, yep, I got it, boss. I got your back. So I'm thinking that they probably don't care much for each other, but this is business.
All right, keep those cards down there. I want to opine on them.
Just starting to put them away.
I saw that. Hence why I was saying put those cards back out there.
Hold on a second. Let me get the 9 of Cups. Here we go.
You're doing a good job of burying them like I do.
Yeah, well, these cards are
little litter boxes. All right, so
people love this rock, by the way, David.
It's cool. It's a piece. It's azurite on malachite, so it's usually copper mining is where they find stuff like that, because those are 2 common minerals to find there. All right, so when I look at this with the Page of Swords, again, you're talking about apprentice, somebody who's not very skilled, and I think they both look at the other person and just shake their head, saying, "This guy's he's clueless." Trump looks at JD Vance saying he's clueless. He's not worldly. He doesn't understand how the world works. And JD Vance looks at Trump like, you had all this power and you don't know what to do with it. And the cross is the
Empress.
The Empress here. And they both know that they know what they need to do. And in some ways, they're both right. It's, Trump brings the MAGA vote. And so JD Vance on his own is nothing without Trump. Trump doesn't really need JD Vance, but if Trump wants the money, then he's got to take JD Vance.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Underneath is the disappointment card. Neither one of them, it's like, Trump doesn't want JD Vance there. It's like, that's not who he would have picked. He wanted Lara Trump, or he wanted Marco Rubio or something like that. And JD Vance is, he's kind of like the beggars can't be choosers type thing. And this is the money putting JD Vance in there. The Knight of Swords, this decision to put JD Vance in there came quick. It came at the 11th hour. This was not
right after he got shot at, probably.
Well, it could be that too, right? We got to get a young person in there because we need to make sure that we get our agenda put together. The Seven of Current Situation. This is not, illusions, delusions. This is not about integrity. This is people that will do the work required and don't ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, because really the Heritage Foundation is pulling the levers.
Yeah.
And they just got, they're the man behind the curtain, right?
And JD Vance, I'm sure, looks at Trump and says, oh, this guy's a babbling idiot. And Trump looks at JD Vance and says, this guy doesn't have a clue what he's doing, because they have different value sets.
Mm-hmm.
What's that top card there?
The 10 of Wands.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be, this is an odd couple. This is going to, which is funny because they're actually the same person. And that's where the illusion delusion card comes in. They are both white trash. No offense to white trash out there, but let me back up when I say that. What I mean to say is they talk about Donald Trump as being white trash with money. They have a poor person's vision of what a wealthy person looks like.
It's probably a better way to describe it.
Yeah, the simpler term is using the WT, but that's what they describe, like the gold-plated toilets.
Yeah,
that's kind of like what a poor person thinks a rich person would have in their house, type of thing. And Trump does not like JD Vance because JD Vance grew up like in the Appalachians. He grew up with the hillbillies, and he's trash to Trump because he doesn't have money like Trump has. But Trump doesn't realize that your bank statement and your zip code don't give you class. And I mean class as in being sophisticated and being a high-minded individual. He's just they're very similar, and I think JD Vance reminds Trump of what he is not, and that bothers Trump. He doesn't want him around, and I guess Trump could be like, wow, this is somebody who grew up out of, Trump didn't grow up out of humble beginnings, but again, there's that mindset of having money and
built it up
it.
From nothing.
Yeah, and he squanders it. All the things you could do, you've squandered it. So it's going to be a difficult relationship for them to get across. And the lesson to be learned is that heartbreak and betrayal. Trump wanted to pick who he wanted to pick because he's going to be president for life. And he's forced to be with this guy. And this guy's being forced to be with Trump. They don't trust, basically, that card, they don't trust each other. When I was joking about, you first down the stairs, they're going to have to take different staircases when they go down the stairs. Because both of them know the other one will put a sword in them in a moment's notice. And the outcome with that 9 of Cups, instead of hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled, think of it as the smug merchant. They both look down their nose at the other guy. JD Vance, he went to Harvard. He's Harvard educated. He's probably way smarter than Trump. He looks down his nose at Trump because Trump's a freaking idiot. Trump looks down his nose at JD Vance because Trump's a successful businessman who has all these accomplishments. But here's the thing. You look at his accomplishments, it's a murderer's row of bankrupted businesses and failed opportunities. So that's kind of what I see with that reading.
You know what I think this is? I think this is the Heritage Foundation getting their way.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, so the only person that's really happy in this is the Heritage Foundation because
they've got
their useful idiot on top of the ticket.
Yeah.
They've got their young buck who's going to do what they tell him to do.
Do all the heavy lifting to get their agenda moved forward.
And they're going to get their agenda moving.
You cannot trust Trump to get the agenda moving forward. He's going to be too busy. Here's, again, not that I would ever wish this, but if Trump were to be elected and to take office, he would spend his entire time, persecuting the deep state, arrest the big secret police coming at night, arresting Democratic leaders and disloyal Republicans, public trials and executions and stuff like that. And while he's doing all that, JD Vance is pushing forward the agenda, and the now supermajority held by the Republicans in the House and the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And why the reason why it'd be a supermajority of the Republicans in the House and the Senate is because they will have arrested and executed enough Democrats that they don't have a say in the government anymore.
Yeah, and then the theory they want to do is replace all of the director level positions of federally held jobs.
Yeah.
So that basically, when they decide that they aren't going to have the peaceful transition of power if they lose the next election, if there is an election, they can keep the government running, and then have all the generals around them that'll say, "Yes, sir, we'll call out the troops if they get ornery."
Are you familiar with Schedule F?
Schedule F, I am not.
Schedule F is a designation that Trump put in before he left office, changing the federal employees to a Schedule F employee. Basically, they can be fired. They can be treated as political appointees. And it would impact at least 50,000 federal employees, if not more. So, when there's new administrations come in, they can fire a bunch of people and replace them.
Yeah. I mean, that's just if it's a political appointment. Yeah, you expect to lose your job if the other party takes office.
Schedule F greatly increases the number of people covered by that. So basically, you install your own lackeys into tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of positions.
Well, did he do that?
Creating your own deep state.
Did he do that with an executive order, or did he get the?
Yeah, he did that as an executive order, but it never got enacted, and Biden rescinded it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if it's an executive order, you just rescind it and it's gone away. But you gotta put something in place to safeguard against that.
Yeah, and if Trump gets elected again, he'll do it again. He'll fire hundreds of thousands of workers, replace them with loyalists. And you see the path you're going down there. The other thing, I forget what intuitive threw it out there, but basically said, yeah, we're not going to have another election until we look really well into this election voter fraud thing that's going on here. You know, it might take 20 years to look at all the way through to make sure that we've uncovered all the various forms of voter fraud. Indeed. So
of course,
there's no need to have an election. Can't be trusted.
All right, so we've run 27 minutes here. What have we learned?
I don't know if we've two little four-carders. What does Trump think of JD Vance?
Okay.
And then what does JD Vance think of Trump? We'll do it at the same time. Ready?
Okay. Who are you doing, Trump or JD Vance?
We'll both do the same person. We'll both do. What does Trump think of JD Vance?
Okay.
Pow. And 1, and 2, and 3.
My deck is upside down.
Boy,
I've got great cards on mine. Oh, I did have.
You did. What does Trump think of JD Vance? There's messaging going here. He doesn't like him. He's got strong opinions about him, but he's just got to deal with it. In the end of the day, Trump's being told what to do. It's not his idea. It's somebody else's idea, and he's pissed. He's pissed he didn't get to pick who he wanted to pick, which would be like Lara Trump. He wanted to keep it in the family. So part of it is it's two things. Trump being told what to do, and he's not the type of person who likes to be told what to do. And the other part is JD Vance spoke out against Trump and made his name be an anti-Trumper. And now that he's come in, he's supposed to be accepted. So Trump doesn't like him because he said mean things about him. What do you got?
Okay, so I've started with the strength card. Trump knows how strong he is because he can take a swinging bullet right to the ear and show up with a diaper on his ear as the red badge of courage, right? So he knows he's strong and that he's got to take this wild animal and tame him and show him the right way to do it. You know, he's looking down at all the grifting, all the things of wealth and value, and he's only got one currently at his feet, but he's looking at, I've got to get to the White House because I need to sort of derail a whole bunch of things that are going to take this fruit off of my shrubbery. Victory is something that I need to absolutely get.
Yeah.
And however, I got this VP who's young, naive, inexperienced, who's just a
Yes.
hazard, and
Yep.
I got to protect him. And at the end of the day, I can't turn my back on him.
Nope. Exactly.
Because,
That's why I was getting that 10 of swords. Yeah.
yeah,
This
he's
guy's
got
gonna
9
be
more friends around that are all going to put swords in my back and prevent me from taking my victory lap that I need to take.
Yeah, Trump has to leverage whatever he can as soon as he can.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see, JD Vance on Donald Trump.
Are you just taking the next 4 or 5 cards, or did you shuffle?
No, I just reshuffled. I reshuffled.
Okay.
Okay. JD Vance on next Donald Trump will be an emperor. Yeah, he'll be a tyrant, a dictator. But it's only for so long. JD Vance's turns next, because Trump's not long for this world. His health is terrible. So all I got to do is kiss his butt long enough and just bide my time, and I too will be emperor. And when I'm emperor, brother, am I going to be the emperor?
All right.
He doesn't think much about Trump. Trump is just somebody in the way, and he'll bide his time.
Yeah.
That's what Pence wanted. Pence never expected Trump to make it all 4 years through the presidency. He was
I think he was really stunned.
Yeah. And JD Vance is just that many years forward in the future.
What does JD Vance think of Donald Trump?
Yeah.
So JD Vance has got to balance things here. We got the God.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
Oh God.
Now, I want you to think of those pentacles as being health related.
Yeah. Well, it could be it's health or wealth. I mean, JD Vance is looking at his relationship with Donald Trump is I've got to balance things of value here.
No, don't go to the value. Go to the health. What's Donald Trump's health going to look like over time?
Yeah, well, it's probably not. It's not going to get stronger.
It's declining.
But
and what's at the bottom of your deck?
Hey, you do your reading. You can look at my cards after I'm done with my interpretation.
What's at the bottom of your deck?
6 of Pentacles.
Finding your time on his health. Here's some pills for you. Keep going. Oh, you're not feeling well, huh? Well, that's terrible.
Yeah. So JD Vance is looking at things of value. He's got to balance things. It's like Dave said. He's probably biding his time. It's like I've got a lot of things of value. Trump's got some things of value, but his health is probably not so great, and this might not take too long. There's a lot of energy and emotion going on in the background and turbulence. So I just have to be patient. He's got the a lot of swords. 6 of Swords. He's got this baggage, Trump, and he's got to take it away from these rough waters to smoother waters, to calmer shores. 3 of Swords, heartbreak. He doesn't want to be attached to this guy, partially because he doesn't know how long he's going to be around. You got the 10 of Swords. He wants this relationship to end as soon as he can. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to have a long-term relationship with this guy. And like Dave was saying, with the 6 of Pentacles, it's all about just feeding the machine long enough for me to get this thing to calm waters and put the final set of swords into the back of this thing.
He's looking at Trump with that 2 of Coins. Is like his health is deteriorating. That center was the center underneath the 10 of Swords.
Yeah.
And it's like both 25th Amendment, him. Either there's a betrayal there. Think of that 3 of Swords, absolute betrayal from somebody you trusted. He is going to turn. He's going to stick a knife in Trump's back first chance he gets, and then send him packing with the 6 of Swords. No, we're going to pardon you. We're going to get you the hell out of here. You can go live in Saudi Arabia. We'll even put you on the flight so that you can get out. And then I can get to the business of of running this country. Yeah, if I were Trump, I wouldn't trust this guy as far as I could throw him because he's going to betray Trump first chance he gets.
Yeah.
Unlike Pence.
Well, I think that does it for this reading.
Yes. I like your cards. I like telling you what to do. I like telling what you should be saying. It's an incredibly powerful feeling.
Yeah, the puppet string. So,
Yes.
What do you think this card means?
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video and supporting our channel. We appreciate it.
Please like, share, subscribe, leave comments. I go through as many comments as I can, and I respond to as many as I possibly can. And I really do appreciate it. We get ideas from the comment sections. And for those of you that are wondering about where I got these cards, I'll put a link in the community page, but I got them on Etsy. The deck is called the Vintage Tarot. There we go. Vintage Tarot deck by Dark Forest. There's a Dark Forest. I'm sure there's multiple vendors of Dark Forest cards on Etsy. It was about $25 for this. It's the vintage cards. They also had a really neat one that was kind of a watercolor style. So there's options out there.
Yeah, I like those.
Wondering, that's where I got it.
I like those cards too. I think the backing looks cool on them. I think the borderless look and the general overall vibe, they look fantastic. Good choice on your first deck.
Thanks. All right, so thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.